You're sitting in class, eyes down, half listening, doodling in the margin of your notebook. And then you look up. The teacher is already looking at you, not glancing over. Already locked on, like they'd been watching for a while. How did you know to look up at that exact second? Or this one. You're walking home alone at night. Nothing's happened. No sound, no footsteps, nothing you could point to. But suddenly, you check behind you, just to be sure. Or you're at a restaurant and you realize you really don't want to sit with your back to the door. You can't fully explain why, you just want to see the entrance. Different moments, same feeling underneath all of them. Something in you reacts to being watched before you have any proof that you are. And here's the strange part. You're usually right. You turn around in the coffee shop and someone really is looking at you. You glance up in class at the exact moment the teacher's eyes land on you. You feel that pull to check the street behind you, and sure enough, there's someone back there, closer than you realized. This isn't a coincidence you've experienced once or twice. It's something almost everyone has felt, repeatedly, their whole life. So where does it come from? Why does some part of you seem to know you're being watched before you've actually seen it? To answer that, we have to leave the classroom, the street, the restaurant, and go back. Way back. Long before any of those things existed. Picture a small group of early humans moving across an open grassland as the sun starts dropping. The grass is tall enough to hide almost anything. And somewhere in it, something may already be watching them. A predator doesn't announce itself. Its entire strategy depends on staying hidden until the last possible second. Watching, waiting, calculating the right moment to move. The humans who survived long enough to have descendants weren't necessarily the fastest or the strongest. They were the ones who felt that prickle on the back of their neck a few seconds before anything happened. The ones who turned around just in time, even though they couldn't say exactly why they turned. The ones who didn't feel it usually didn't get a second chance. That pressure didn't last one generation. It lasted hundreds of thousands of years, slowly sharpening one very specific ability into the human nervous system, catching the sense of being watched, even with no clear proof yet. And it wasn't only about predators in the grass. It was just as much about other people. Think about your own group of friends. Now imagine that group is your entire world, your only source of food, protection, and belonging, and there's no leaving it. Being secretly watched by someone in that group, someone deciding whether to trust you, exclude you, or move against you, mattered just as much as any lion in the grass. So your brain built a tool for both. A fast, quiet system that didn't wait for you to consciously look around and check. A system that worked before you even decided to look up in class or turn around on that street. For a long time, scientists treated this feeling watched thing as a kind of folk myth. Maybe people are just unconsciously catching motion out of the corner of their eye, then their brain dresses it up afterward as some mysterious instinct. But here's the thing that should genuinely surprise you. Your peripheral vision isn't just a blurry backup version of your normal sight, it's specialized. And part of what it's specifically tuned to catch is eyes. Not faces in general. Eyes, specifically, and which direction they're pointed. That's why you can be doodling in your notebook, looking nowhere near the teacher, and still somehow catch the exact moment their eyes shift toward you. Your peripheral vision picked it up before the rest of you knew it happened. The looking up at the right second wasn't luck. It was your eyes doing their job in the background. That's also why sitting with your back to a restaurant entrance feels different from sitting facing it. Even though logically nothing has changed about how safe the room is, part of you isn't calculating logic. It's running an old rule. Keep the open space where you can see it. Don't let anything approach from somewhere your eyes can't reach. And that uneasy urge to check the street behind you at night? Same root system. Your brain isn't waiting for solid evidence of danger. It's designed to react first and explain itself later. Because for most of human history, waiting for solid proof before reacting was how you ended up not getting a next time. This is why the feeling never quite feels like seeing. It feels like sensing. By the time it reaches the part of your mind that can put it into words, your brain has already finished reacting. The feeling is the leftover signal, arriving after the real work is done. Now here's where it gets genuinely strange, because this old system never got the memo that the world changed. Think about how often you're actually watched today. Not by something hidden in tall grass, but by a laptop camera with a tiny green light. A doorbell camera mounted above a porch. A security camera in the corner of a store. Even just a notification screen lighting up with someone's face on it. Your detection system doesn't know the difference between a lion's eyes and a camera lens. It just registers the pattern. Something with eyes pointed at me. That's part of why people feel a small flicker of self-consciousness the moment they notice a webcam light is on, even knowing, logically, that no one is on the other end watching right now. It's also why you instinctively angle your phone away from someone reading over your shoulder before you've even consciously decided to, or why you lower your voice slightly when you sense someone nearby might be listening, even in a public place where nobody actually cares what you're saying. None of that is a modern habit you learned. It's tribal-era wiring, repurposed for elevators, classrooms, and open-plan offices. And here's the side effect nobody warns you about. Back in the world this system was built for, the feeling of being watched almost always meant something. Feel it. React. You were probably right. Today, you're potentially watched constantly. Cameras, glances, glowing screens, strangers simply existing nearby, with zero interest in you whatsoever. The alarm is going off in an environment packed with false positives it was never designed to filter out. It is a bit like a smoke detector built for an open campfire, now mounted in a kitchen full of steam and toast. It's not broken. It's just reacting to a world it was never calibrated for. That low hum of social unease some people feel in crowded rooms, completely safe rooms, full of nothing but normal strangers, is often just this. The system, still on duty, with too many things lighting it up at once. So maybe the real story isn't, why do I feel watched sometimes for no reason? Maybe it's that there was never no reason in the first place. Somewhere underneath every version of that feeling, the prickle on your neck in the coffee shop, the look up at the exact second the teacher's eyes found you, the glance back on an empty street, the pull to face the restaurant door, there's a piece of you that still remembers tall grass and firelight. A piece of you built by people who survived precisely because they listened to that feeling instead of shrugging it off. That part of you is still on the job, still scanning, still listening in its own quiet, eyeless way, long after the predators it was built for disappeared. So the next time that feeling crawls up the back of your neck, in a quiet room, on an empty street, in a classroom, you might want to pause before brushing it off. It isn't nothing, it's an inheritance. Passed down silently across hundreds of thousands of years from people who are only your ancestors because they turned around in time. And in that small, strange moment when you do turn, and someone really is looking, you're not glitching. You're remembering something your body never agreed to forget.